What's going on, everybody? Good to see you again. So basically I just wanted to make a video today detailing my gratitude for a YouTuber, Jason. I do games. Really awesome YouTuber. I really enjoy his channel a lot. One of my favorite series that he does is Collection Quest for the Super Nintendo that he does like every month. Basically he details each game he picks up for that month. He'll review it, do a brief overview, show some gameplay, see if it's a game that he'll come back to later and finish and keep playing. So I really enjoy those videos because he puts a lot of great production and effort into them. And basically it's just cool to find out what Super Nintendo games you haven't heard of before and if they're worth picking up yourself. You know, he tells you if he likes it or not and just goes through it. So I really enjoy those videos. And basically what he does is every month he gives out a game to one random person that comments on his channel, and I like his videos, so I just comment on them. And the last video that he made for this the Collection Quest, he picked me as the winner, and I wasn't even I completely forgot that he had that sort of contest going on. I was really surprised to hear that I won, but basically, he sent me a game and for the system of your choice, and I just want to say thank you, Jason. Really cool of you to do that. I already unboxed it. You know, came in this envelope over here. I already unboxed it because I just wanted to see what game I got. Honestly, I asked him if he could send me one for the Genesis, and he said yes. So this is what he sent me over here. Phelios for the Sega Genesis. I told him to sign it, and he did. So thank you, Jason. I really appreciate that. Looks like a really fun shoot 'em up set during like the ancient Greece times, you know, with all the mythological figures, Zeus and whatnot, and the gods at that time. But it's a shoot 'em up based in that era, based on the stories and whatever. You know what I mean. But it looks really cool. So thank you, Jason. Really appreciate it. I already made a custom, well, the box is original, but I made some custom art. I printed out from my cover project, so it's going to go in here for the rest of the time. So thank you, Jason. I really, really appreciate it. And of course, I will leave a link to Jason's channel in the description below. I really recommend you guys check him out if you haven't heard of him, his channel before, because it's really fun. I love those videos that he puts out, and it's really fun to see what's on the Super Nintendo, games that you haven't heard of, and he just puts a lot of effort into it, and it's really cool. So again, thanks, Jason. I really appreciate it. It's going to stay in my collection till the end of time, until you know, the inevitable happens and I pass away, and then my kids sell it probably. So thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. Alright, so the next portion of this video is I would just want to talk about some of the games I've been playing since the last time I made one of these videos. Haven't been picking up as much just because of the weather, certain circumstances in my life that prevent me from doing so. Kind of a money issue. I'm trying to save up a little bit more money too. I used to go to the flea market to just spend whatever I had, you know. It just, I can't be doing that anymore, honestly. Although that is to say, I haven't been picking up games. I know I haven't really been making pickup videos, but I will make a video in the future of just some of the highlights that I've picked up in the, you know, the last year or whatnot. And I've gotten some good deals here and there, but I've been playing more games, I think, than I've been picking up, so I just want to talk about it, and I'll just, you know, see if it's a good game and recommend it to you if it's a good game, and if I finish it, I'll tell you, and all that jazz. So no particular order, here we go. Okay, starting off over here is Star Wars Jedi Outcast for the original Xbox. Gotta say, one of the more disappointing games that I've played. For years, I was hearing about how awesome this game was, and how cool it was to be a Jedi, use your Jedi powers, and the gameplay actually looked really fun when you got the lightsaber. But that's the thing, when you start playing this game, you start off as a Jedi, but you have like a gun, you know, it's like a first-person shooter type of thing, and the gameplay was very underwhelming. A lot of the enemy interactions were very sporadic. The environments were, you know, you're like in a ship, so the environments were very, they all just looked the same, very monotonous type of gameplay. You know, it was cool in like Doom and stuff, but that was like in the early 90s. Expected a little bit more out of this game. I stopped playing it after about 2 or 3 hours. It just didn't hold my interest that long. Like I said, the enemy encounters are very sporadic. The environments were very similar to each other. Like I said, you're in that spaceship sort of atmosphere. It just the pace just didn't pick up. You know, for a Star Wars game, I expected a little better because you play games like Battlefront 2, and the action is just overwhelming, but in a good way. It's fun, you know, very fast paced. You know, you have games like Shadows of the Empire. I enjoyed Shadows of the Empire a little better than this, and that game came out like 20 years ago. So definitely a little disappointing for sure. Next game over here, I'd say this is a little bit of a hidden gem. I was actually playing this a few weeks ago. Artie Lightfoot for the Super Nintendo. Really fun little platformer. I'd say if you have it in your collection and you never played it before, definitely pick it up and try it out. If you're tired of playing Donkey Kong Country and Super Mario World and you want to try something new. The gameplay is not perfect by any means. I would not put this in the classic category. There's definitely some kinks that need to be worked out. For example, when you're going up ropes and you're swinging from rope to rope or vine to vine in the game, it takes a little getting used to trying to jump and grab the rope. You just don't do it automatically like it would happen in Donkey Kong Country. You kind of have to fiddle with the control stick. That definitely stood out to me as a flaw. The characters are very likable. You play as a, I don't know, like a dog or something like that, or some sort of mammal, and you have like a penguin sidekick, and the penguin sidekick acts as the peripheral like attack and your hit points. So it's pretty cool. The characters are charming. The boss fights are actually a lot of fun. One that stuck out to me was you're fighting this boss, and basically she's pressing, or is it he, I don't know, but they're pressing buttons and determining on what button they pressed, it would send out like a boxing glove to hit you, and you kind of have to fool them and make the boxing glove hit them. So that was really fun. Look up gameplay on it if you want. If you don't have it in your collection, but if you have it in your collection, it's definitely a fun platformer that I recommend if you're looking to try something new. Got a Limbo. Now I saw a lot of gameplay, people talking about this on YouTube. Different YouTube personalities talking about this game, specifically the one in the middle, Limbo. Did not try these other two out. I know it's a download game, but I'm a physical kind of guy, and I saw that it was on the 360 in like a little collection right here, so I wanted to pick it up in a physical form. Now, I saw a lot of people rave about this game, and when I saw gameplay on it, it looked like it was a lot of fun. Really atmospheric, very dark in tone. The puzzles look really cool, so I definitely wanted to give it a shot. This was not easy to find. A lot of the GameStops in my area didn't have it. And ordering it online, it was just kind of overpriced. So I did find one GameStop that did have it, but it was really hard to find. The gameplay itself is really interesting, very, very puzzle heavy, which if you are a fan of puzzle games and figuring out how to get past a certain point, kind of like dungeons and level The Legend of Zelda, you know, stuff like that, very puzzle heavy to move forward, you will love this game. If you love survival horror games, now I wouldn't put it in that category, but if you like atmospheric games, heavy atmospheric games, now this is definitely a game you should try out. I did get pretty far into it, but the puzzles do become a little overwhelming and hard, and kind of frustrating too. And it gets to that point where you're looking up gameplay online to see how to get past it, and some of them you just feel like an idiot because you know, you could probably figure it out if you really put your mind to it. But I do love the atmosphere. I do love the dark tone. Not a scary game that's gonna frighten you, but I think it's gonna get under your skin a little bit if that's your thing. Now I love getting scared without the consequences. You know, I love scary movies. I love survival horror games. So this is definitely right up my alley. I did not complete it, but I definitely want to go back to it one day. Like I said, the puzzles did get a little hard, and I put it down, but I recommend it for sure. Next, I was fooling around with this a little bit. Did not get too far into it. Super Empire Strikes Back, and what I mean by that is I didn't even get past the first level. This game is super tough. That's the simple way of saying it. It's just super tough. The first level, you're on Hoth, and you're riding that llama thing. God, I can't remember what it's called. That creature's called off the top of my head. But you're riding the llama, and you're going around Hoth, and just shit is just flying in every direction, hitting you. And the llama is fucking horrible. You might as well just go on foot with the lightsaber, because the llama is a huge freaking hit point, and you feel like an idiot. You can't walk 2 feet without getting hit in the face with something, a projectile. So this game is really tough. Definitely something I gotta give more of a try. But I did try to put a little bit of effort into it a few weeks ago. Did not get far. Kind of embarrassing, actually. Next is a game I almost beat, actually, Joe and Mac. I've had this in my collection a long time, and I've played it here and there, but I actually sat down one day, last weekend, I think, and I really put a lot of time into it, to the point where I almost beat it. I got up to the last boss, I beat the boss, but then you go into the stomach of spoilers, you go into the stomach of the dinosaur, and there's another level after that, but I had to do something, so I had to shut off the game. But it's not a long game by any means. I think I played it for like an hour, and I got up to the last boss. But very fun little platformer. The characters are really cool. Not too hard, but sort of a challenge. Very I should say this, very boss heavy. I mean, some of the levels last like not even 30 seconds, and you're up to a boss. So that if that's your thing, then give this a shot. Not that the bosses are a big pain in the ass, but some are very challenging. And it's just a charming game. It definitely has a level of charm, very cartoony. So if it's in your collection, you're looking for another platformer to try out, Joe and Mac is definitely one I recommend. Alright, so the next game I want to talk about here is Call of Cthulhu for the Xbox. I've wanted to play this game for years, and for the longest time, I didn't really have an Xbox to play it on. I got rid of the original Xbox a long time ago, and my brother actually has the one that's backwards compatible, so I had to get, and my Xbox 360 is a Slim, so it doesn't play original Xbox games. So I originally picked up an Xbox maybe 6 months ago, and I finally got to play this game. And like I said, I've been wanting to play this game for a long time. It looks really cool. A lot of people were raving about it, saying it was one of the best games for the Xbox. And when I finally played it, didn't really live up to the expectations that much. What I will say about this game is it's very, very atmospheric. The town that you play as a detective, and trying to solve mysteries and stuff, and you go into this town where things are just not right at all. Not right with the townspeople, the place itself. There's something fishy going on. Hint, hint. That's all I'll say about that. But basically, all the townspeople are just creepy as hell. That's what really works for this game. The voice acting is really good. The people that you interact with really sell the atmosphere, and really sell how the gameplay works and what you have to do. It's a lot of sneaking around in this game, a lot of stealth. Because basically, you know, I'll just talk about the game a little. So spoilers: the townspeople do turn against you, and you're sneaking around trying to get past them. And the thing is, you don't have a weapon for the longest time. And so for about 4 hours, literally, I'm walking around this town, sneaking in sewers, sneaking through houses, interacting with other people that try to help you without a freaking weapon. So this game was tough. I died a lot, and the townspeople, they don't give you a break. They want you dead. So it's a lot of running around, but you finally do acquire a weapon, and things get a little easier. One fault I will say about this game is the hit detection is not good. You get what do you get there? Like an iron, you know, like a tire iron, whatever it's called, and trying to hit the enemies, the hit detection was pretty lousy. And then when you finally get the gun, trying to shoot them was pretty lousy as well. So that is one fault I'll give about this game. And you do have like an insanity meter. You know, you start to get overwhelmed, you start to get anxious, and everything starts spinning around like you're drunk in the game. And that was kind of annoying because it was hard to see where to go. and what to do. And sometimes you'd be like on a ledge and then you'd fall, and then like the townspeople will just fucking devour you and kill you. So it is very tough in some circumstances, but I love survival horror games, like I said before, and it definitely works in that aspect. You definitely the people in the town, the atmosphere, the town itself, it really gets under your skin. You feel pretty dirty playing it because of that reason. Did not beat the game. I did get to a point where it got really tough. Basically, I couldn't get past it. I do have to go back into one of my save files and do things differently to progress. But I will go back to it. I recommend it if you have the patience for it, but it does require a lot of patience and a lot of trial and error. So, but if you love survival horror games, definitely look into this one. Next is another disappointing game here, Singularity for the Xbox 360. When I saw gameplay, I think Review Tech USA was doing a video and he had this gameplay in the background, and it looked really fun. I'm a huge fan of BioShock, and one of the things in this game that you get is another you know, it's a first person shooter, so you get your gun and then you get like a power that you find out that you get a little later in the game that manipulates time and objects. So it looked kind of fun, but it definitely disappointed me. This one thing about this game is if you play something like Call of Duty, you know how you recover really fast. You know, you get hit and then you just stay put, get out of danger for a little bit, and then you recover. I guess we're spoiled by those games because this game, that does not happen. You get shot like 3 times and you're dead. And it happens a lot. You get overwhelmed by the enemies to the point where I couldn't even get past a certain point. There was so many enemies on screen that shooting them and using the power that you get to kind of wither them away in old age, because it does manipulate time, or just freaking had them explode in 1,000 pieces. That just was not working. So it definitely got really hard. But this game was not as fun as I was hoping it to be, like BioShock was. The thing with BioShock is it's very atmospheric. I'm a big fan of that. And just the gameplay mechanics were fun, choosing between the different powers to use and how to, defeat your enemies and things like that. This game definitely lacked in that department, but I think it's my fault because I definitely hyped it up too much for myself and was making to that comparison to BioShock too much, I think. So it's not the game's fault probably, but definitely a disappointing one. But if you're looking for a different first-person shooter to try out, this might be for you. It's definitely cheap enough. Next is Resident Evil 4 for the PS2. I beat the GameCube version. I love this game. I'll just come out and say it. I love this game. I beat the GameCube version so many times. And then you get like that special mission with oh gosh, the woman in the red dress afterwards, which is a lot of fun too. But the PS2 version is very tough. I think that there were some differences in the GameCube version that they made in this game, because this came out later. I believe the GameCube version started off as an exclusive, and then they made the PS2 version. They made the PS2 version tough. I don't know if it's in my head, but I couldn't get past the fish boss that I think it's one of the first bosses you encounter. I could not get past that boss. I would die every time. Basically, you throw a spear into the fish and it will back off. In this game, it just comes full throttle at you. So I think the differences are there, and I did not get past that point in the game. I do love Resident Evil 4, though, so definitely give it a shot. I do recommend the GameCube version over the PS2 version, though. So the last game I want to talk about here is the one and the only Half-Life 2. Now, I have it on the Orange Box collection. Probably the best $5 I ever spent in my entire life. I love Half-Life 2. I put it down a long time ago. I got stuck on this part. Basically, I'm going to talk about the game, so if you don't want to know any details, I suggest not listening to this. But I basically got up to this point where you ride a vehicle for a long period of time, and the vehicle got flipped over from certain circumstances in the game. And basically, I couldn't figure out how to flip the car back over. I was getting attacked by these giant ants in the game, and I put it down. Now, my friend here on YouTube, Mr. Tightwhite, like, was heckling me to get back to this game, and I'm glad I did. I finished it, I beat it. One of the better games I've played in the last few years, absolutely. It takes a lot for me to beat a game these days, just for time constraints and other things going on in life, but this definitely held my attention to the end. What this game does that's incredible is it tells a story without any cutscenes. The characters, and you play as Dr. Gordon Freeman, who doesn't speak at all during the game, which is another huge accomplishment. You know, you get a sense of his personality, a sense of who he was, what he does through other character interactions in the game. Voice acting is phenomenal. The dystopian atmosphere is incredible. I mean, the enemies you encounter, pretty creepy, and then just a certain level of quality you don't see in a lot of games. I mean, you get a game like Singularity, I can make a comparison to that. This game just blows that game out of the water in terms of quality. Just a lot of weapons you get to experiment with. The grab gun is a lot of fun. I can see where BioShock got its inspiration with telekinesis, the power up you get in that game. I can see where they got that inspiration from this, absolutely. It's just an incredible game. It's just a game you got to experience by yourself. There's a lot packed into this game. Like I said, a lot of it's not told through cutscenes. The story is just laid out on the ground, and you just go through each environment outside. Just this entire wasteland outside that you get to explore. There's a certain level of separation between you and the major antagonist, and it really works in this game because the antagonist in this game is so above everybody else. Everybody's living like animals, basically, and there's a certain like dictator level of personality that the main antagonist has, and there's kind of like disconnect, but in a way that it works. It's kind of hard to explain, but all does come together in the end. Certain level of mystery at the end of this game. I could see why people really want a Half-Life 3, but I really can't recommend this game enough. It's just something you have to experience. Like I said, it's just an incredible masterpiece in my opinion. I'm not really a big fan of games where you have to ride a vehicle a lot of the time. But this game, and you do ride a vehicle in this game for a long period of time, but they just nailed it. You're getting chased by enemies in like a helicopter, and it's filled with a lot of tension, and just the things that you see, the environments that you come across are really engaging in that part of the game. It's just an awesome game, and I really look forward to trying out the other games in this collection. I got this for $4.99, one of the better $5 I've ever spent in my entire life. Check it out. I've played some other games like The Suffering on the PS2. I don't really have too much to say about it. I found it kind of a little bland. It had some certain aspects of it that I enjoyed, but kind of repetitive in its gameplay. And just other games I fooled around with here and there, some Super Nintendo stuff. But that's about it, guys. I appreciate you watching the video and sticking around. I know I don't upload as much as I used to. Just a lot of things going on in life. Won't get into it too much, but some negative things have happened, which definitely took away my enthusiasm for making videos. But you know, hopefully I'll be seeing you guys a lot more frequently, depending on how I feel. And I just want to say thanks. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take care.